Hello everybody and welcome to the first part of What If Naruto Was Madara's Legacy. I hope you enjoy this what if. Also, if you want a part 2, like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Chapter 1, Madara's Grandson. Konoha no Sato. A 5-year-old Naruto was currently running for his life as a mob of angry villagers ran after him wielding pitchforks, torches, bats, and other blunt objects. "Get him," one mob member shouted. "Kill him," another shouted. "We'll avenge Yondaime-sama, you demon brat." Naruto ran down an alleyway and managed to lose the crowd of angry civilians in an alley not far from the Hokage's office. "Why do they hurt me?" Naruto asks himself. "What did I ever do to deserve this?" "Found him. He is hiding in this alley," a voice yells, and the mob charges into the alley with weapons and blunt objects. "Now you pay for all those you killed. You crushed my husband. I'll kill you." Then the mob charges and starts beating the crap out of Naruto. Naruto couldn't think because of the pain. Eventually the crowd leaves a battered, bruised, and bleeding Naruto in the alleyway. "What did I ever do to deserve this?" Naruto cried to himself as he slipped into the sweet bliss of unconsciousness. After a few seconds, a man with 2 large Venus flytrap-like extensions that envelop his head and upper body, giving him a plant-like appearance. He has short green hair, yellow eyes, and that his body has 2 different colored halves. His left side is completely white, while the right side is almost entirely black. "Madara-sama's not going to be happy about this," Black Zetsu said to his other half. "You don't think he'll kill us, do you?" White Zetsu asked. "If we hurry we can still save him. For our sake I hope we aren't too late." Zetsu grabbed Naruto and took him in the folds of his cloak and sunk into the ground with Naruto. Mountain Graveyard. Madara was in his robes connected to the ghetto statue as he started coughing. "I hope Zetsu makes it in time," Madara says as he coughs up some blood. "I pray I can save my grandson." Just then Zetsu emerged from the ground, an unconscious and bleeding Naruto slung over his shoulder. "I've retrieved Naruto-san, Madara-sama. But based on his injuries he won't last long. He needs blood transfusions and some of his flesh has been torn off and his skull has suffered blunt force trauma, though it looks like something has already started to heal the damage, but whatever it is isn't strong enough to save him." Madara's eyes widened in horror and fear at the thought of losing his grandson. "Place him on the table," Madara said, walking over to the operating table that he once used to save Obito. "Get me 3 vials of my blood and 4 vials of Hashirama's blood as well as some of his tissue." "You don't intend?" Black Zetsu said, shocked. "Yes, I will save my grandson at any cost." Madara's eye started spinning madly. "Yes, Madara-sama." Zetsu ran over to the ghetto statue and grabbed a hollowed-out Zetsu body, then the vials of blood Madara kept and carried them over to Naruto. "All right, now place the body around Naruto and I will use a very powerful medical ninjutsu to merge the outer and inner skin layers that will stop the bleeding and heal his internal injuries." Madara scanned Naruto over and watched carefully as Zetsu placed the hollowed-out body over Naruto's, and once it was complete Madara started weaving hand signs. "Ninpo, Hada Yugo no Jutsu. Ninja Art, Skin Fusion Jutsu." Naruto glowed a bright blue as the skin of Zetsu and Naruto's skin merged. When the light died down, Naruto's wounds had sealed themselves, and then Madara took out 2 blood bags and put Hashirama's blood in one and his own in the other, then inserted the needles into Naruto and the blood started replacing the blood Naruto lost. "Incredible, the boy took in your blood and Hashirama's without a single adverse side effect. He's my grandson after all." Madara then saw a spark of all too familiar red chakra. "Zetsu, lift the boy's shirt." "But dash." "Do it," Madara roared. "Why, yes sir." Zetsu lifted up Naruto's shirt and Madara saw the hack fuin in all its glory. "From what little I know of sealing jutsu, this is an 8 tetragram seal, and if the chakra I saw is what I think it is, then my grandson is my pet's Jinchuriki. Then Obito will go after this boy in order to complete Project Tsuki no Mi. Then my path is clear." Madara looked back at Naruto's sleeping face. "I must train this boy, he is my legacy, I won't let Obito hurt him." Just then Naruto's eyes shot open and he saw Madara and Zetsu standing over him. "Are your eyes open, young one?" Where am I?" Naruto asked. "Madara Uchiha." Kurama roared in fury. I fucking kill you. Naruto fell off the table in shock and fear. What was that? Naruto looked around frantically. Madara started laughing at his grandson's antics. That was probably the Kyuubi yelling at me, Madara said, chuckling. You see, he and I don't have the greatest history together. I haven't seen you laugh like this, it's actually kind of scary, Zetsu said, sort of creeped out. That's because I haven't laughed like this in a long time. Madara got a sad look on his face. Not since Rika died. Who's Rika? Naruto asked, his shock from Kurama's voice broken. She was my wife and I cared for her deeply. Madara looked at Naruto. Now I'm sure you are wondering who I am and where you are, so I'll answer you. My name is Madara Uchiha and you are in my mountain hideout near the Shimatsu no Tani Valley of the End. Why am I here and why do you even care if I live or die? You ask that like I shouldn't, Madara says, surprised. Because most people don't care what happens to me, they'd sooner see me dead than help me. Well, I'll tell you who I am to you. As I said, my name is Madara Uchiha and the reason I care what happens to you is because you're my grandson. Chapter 2, Madara's Past. I'm your what? Naruto shouted. You are my grandson. Your father was my son who I thought had perished with my wife during an attempt on my life, Madara said. Who was my father? Your father's name was Minato Namikaze, otherwise known as the Yondaime Hokage. Naruto's world collapsed around him as Madara's words fell on his ears. You're joking, right? Naruto laughed a bit, but when he saw that Madara and Zetsu were silent, he stopped. I'm deadly serious, Naruto. Your father was the Yondaime Hokage and my son. How did you find out? You said that you thought he died. I found out thanks to Zetsu, because on the day I thought he died I never found his body. I only found my wife, so I assumed that my son lived, but I couldn't find him. I searched everywhere I could to find a blonde-haired boy with black eyes, but to my dismay I couldn't. But after years searching I finally found him, but it was too late. I only found out about my son 3 years ago. I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you, Naruto, but now I want to spend the rest of my life the little family I have left. Madara smiled. How do I know you're telling the truth? Naruto asked suspiciously. You don't believe me. Many have tried to deceive the boy in thinking they care for him only for them to treat him like dirt, White Zetsu said. They treat him like scum. The boy is now wary of everyone who he meets as they might try to hurt him. Black Zetsu continued. Show me. Do you still have the Sandaime's journal that I stole for you? Oh yeah, Madara said as he grabbed the journal and flipped through a few pages and found what he was looking for. A/N, special thanks to Snake for letting me borrow this from Rise of the Lord of Foxes. It's a good story and I suggest you give it a read. Day 1, my reinstatement. It has been several days since the sealing and I find myself bound with a great pain in my heart knowing that I did not perform the sealing of the Kyuubi instead of Minato. Even more so that I lack the necessary fortitude to protect his son from those who would try to harm him, thinking he is the monster they all fear will come back to kill them all. They are fools, plain and simple. I know that those that oppose my law will leak the information to shadows lurking beneath the surface of the village. They want an outlet for the sadness and they will use this innocent boy for it, and it is the fact that I can't protect him is one of my greater failures in life. Not because I lack the will of fire I had come to embrace in my younger years, but deep down, and Kami help me, a part of me hates the boy too, to some degree. I am ashamed of myself for thinking like that, knowing that while I love the boy with every fiber of my being, a little part of the darkness that all of the village will soon feel for him is there as well. Sarutobi Sandaime. Year 4, my near failure. I saw through my crystal ball the orphanage caretaker try to strangle Naruto with her bare hands, calling him those horrible names that my law strictly forbids, and over a thing like asking for some food. Food that the bitch of a woman denied the boy apparently for 3 days straight, not wanting him to reach his full potential. My ANBU that I assign to watch him don't seem to care what happens to the boy, and the crueler children will see him when he is older as a target they can prey on without repercussions. Had not for intervention of a female chunin named Kurenai, who wanted to play with the children there that day, I would have failed to protect the boy. I punished that bitch of a caretaker accordingly and execute her for her crimes before the council could try to overrule my decision. However, word gets out and the possibility of Naruto surviving are sliming further, as no one wants to help the boy out of fear of being labeled a demon lover, as one newly demoted jounin to genin called the boy. I nearly fail Minato and Kushina, but I will make amends for it now and show those old fools why I am called the Kami no Shinobi. Sarutobi. Sandaime. Madara glowered in rage as he read every paragraph at every word that dictated his grandson's horrible life. This doesn't even scratch the surface of Naruto's suffering. He's been for 5 long years. He lived on his own trying to scrounge up enough food to eat a decent meal once every 2 days, and that was if he was lucky. He's been beaten, bruised, poisoned, burned, crucified, stabbed, and all before he could even barely walk, and don't get me started on the hospital. He have been there more times than most people will be in their lifetime, and the care he received there was abysmal, and that's putting it kindly. If not for the fox he would be dead, all because the fucking villagers can't tell the difference between a kunai and the scroll it's sealed in. Madara's look of rage contorted into a look of loathing and fury. How dare they? Madara unleashed a huge torrent of ki. Naruto fainted and Zetsu was having trouble breathing. Madara SSSSSS Sama SSSSSSSS stop why Yuri KKKKKKKK killing Naruto SSSSSS Sama. Zetsu choked out and Madara stopped his ki, and after a few minutes Naruto woke up. What was that? Naruto asked. I'm sorry Naruto-kun, but they've hurt you and I just got so angry I unleashed my full ki. Can you forgive me? That was awesome. Naruto shouted excitedly. You gotta show me how to do that, Madara GG. He's so like Eureka, rest in peace my love. Madara thought as he watched his grandson going on and on about how cool his GG was. Alright Naruto, settle down. Madara grew a tick mark when Naruto kept bouncing. Settle down. Madara roared, unleashed a tiny fraction of ki to shut Naruto up. Alright, now that I have your attention, it's time for me to begin your training under me. Before we begin, there is something I need to tell you. What is that, Madara GG? By the time that this exercise program is complete you will hate me, you will wish me dead, but in the end there is one thing you can't argue with. What is that? The results. When I'm done with your training you will be the most powerful shinobi of your age group. Alright GG, what do I need to do to get started? First off, I'm going to have Zetsu get you some weights, but in the meantime you and I will discuss the sharingan as it is your birthright. What's the sharingan? The sharingan's abilities consist of 2 parts, the Eye of Insight and the Eye of Hypnotism. The first of the sharingan's powers is being able to see chakra flow. The sharingan itself gives color to chakra, allowing the wielder to differentiate them. They are also able to tell if a person is under a genjutsu because the person's chakra flow would be irregular. The sharingan's second most prominent ability grants the user an incredible clarity of perception, allowing them to easily recognize genjutsu and different forms of chakra, though not to the same extent as the Byakugan. This also allows the user to pick up on subtle details, enabling them to read lip movements. Madara explains. What do you mean? Naruto tilts his head confused. In other words, you can copy hand signs, pencil movements, and see through pretty much any genjutsu place on you or others. Madara says, dumbing it down as he remembers he's talking to someone who hadn't grown up in Uchiha. I've got an awesome eye technique, I'm going to be Hokage for sure. Naruto says, thrusting his fist in the air. Hokage. Madara's eyes widen in shock. You want to be Hokage? Why? Because that way everyone will acknowledge me for my power. Even I haven't been a Kage and I know that's a stupid reason for trying to be one. Hey. Listen, I'll tell you something that Hashirama told me. People don't get acknowledged because they are Hokage, rather acknowledged people become Hokage. However, the true definition of Hokage is someone who will lay down their lives for his comrades and will struggle on until the very end to protect his home, and those who burn with the will of fire. I think I understand, I promise I'll do what you ask me. Just then Zetsu walked in with some weighted clothing. I bought the weighted clothing as you asked, Madara-sama, and I'm ready to begin training with Naruto-sama when you are. Excellent Zetsu, good work now Naruto. Madara turned to Naruto with a sadistic smile on his face. Shall we dance? Konohagakure no Sato 3 days later. Sarutobi was pacing his office, worry etched deep in his withered face. Naruto, where are you? What has happened to you? Sarutobi thought as he paced around the room. Just then there was a knock at the door. Enter. Sarutobi said, quickly hopping for news on Naruto. Then an umbu with silver spiked hair walked in. Sandame-sama, we've looked all over the village, no one has seen hide no hair of Naruto, he's not at his home. He hasn't been by Ichiraku Ramen at all, we've even used the Inuzuka clan and his scent just vanished in an alleyway not far from your office, but that's where the trail runs cold. I'm sorry Sandame-sama, but I'm afraid that Naruto is gone. Inu responded. Damn. Sarutobi swore and then he punched a hole in the wall next to him. Then Sarutobi started crying openly. I'm sorry Minato, Kushina, I've failed you and now Naruto has paid the price for my arrogance. Sarutobi wiped his eyes and turns to Inu. Summon the council for an emergency meeting. Yes sir. Inu runs out of the room. Half an hour later the council had assembled in the council room. What is the meaning of this, Sarutobi? Danzo asked. I'm here in regards to one Naruto Uzumaki. Finally decided to kill the demon. One member of the civilian council asked smugly, which was met with a lot happy murmuring. Just then Inu appeared behind the man and slit his throat. He kill him? Mabuki said, shocked. He was guilty of breaking an S-rank law which calls for death upon breaking. Sarutobi said. Inu, next time send them to Ibiki and Anko rather than killing them. Yes Sandame-sama. Inu bowed and returned to Sarutobi's side. I have unfortunate news, Naruto Uzumaki has been disappeared from the village. The demon is gone, another member of the civilian council said happily, and the civilian side burst out cheering. Then Sarutobi stood up and unleashed a torrent of ki. Silence. Sarutobi shouted and the civilian council looked on in horror and the shinobi side smiled, even the stoic Hayashi, the Kami no shinobi, was back. Damn it all to hell Sarutobi, what did you do? Danzo seethed. I'll have to send Root out to look for the boy. We the civilian council call for an annulment of the law that you set up 5 years ago. Mabuki said. All in favor. One by one the members of the civilian council voted for the annulment. Then it came to Danzo, everyone looked at him and after a few minutes Danzo smirked. I, Danzo Shimura, personal advisor to the Sandame Hokage, support the annulment of the law. Danzo said, then he turned to Koharu and Hamura, nodding ever so slightly. I, Hamura Mitokado, personal advisor to the Sandame Hokage, support the annulment of the law. Hamura said. I, Koharu Udatane, personal advisor to the Sandame Hokage, support the annulment of the law. I, Fugaku Uchiha, head of the Uchiha clan, support the annulment of the law, Fugaku said. All opposed. Mabuki said. I, Sarutobi Hiruzen, Sandame Hokage and head of the Sarutobi clan, reject the annulment of the law. Sarutobi said. I, Shibi Aburame, head of the Aburame clan, reject the annulment of the law. Shibi said. I, Shikaka Nara, head of the Nara clan, reject the annulment of the law. Shikaka said. I, Tsum Inuzuka, head of the Inuzuka clan, reject the annulment of the law. Tsum said. I, Inoichi Yamanaka, head of the Yamanaka clan, reject the annulment of the law. Inoichi said. I, Choza Akimichi, head of the Akimichi clan, reject the annulment of the law. I, Hayashi Hyuga, head of the Hyuga clan, reject the annulment of the law. In a 10-7 vote the law is annulled. Danzo said. Now I, Mabuki Haruno, call for the arrest of the Umbu Inu for murder of a member of the civilian council. Denied. Sarutobi said flatly. You can't do that. Mabuki screeched. Oh, but I very much can. You see, Inu is an Umbu and as such I'm the only who gets a vote in this matter, and as such I vote that he can't be charged as the law was still in effect, and as such Inu, you are free to go. This emergency meeting of the council is now closed. You are all dismissed except you, Danzo. When the other leave, Sarutobi rounds on Danzo, a furious look on his face. If I ever find out you had a hand in this. Sarutobi let the threat hang in the air as he walked out. Chapter 3, Rise of Naruto Uchiha. Time skip 7 years later. Naruto's hair had grown out and went down the length of his spine, and he had unlocked his sharingan at age 7 and unlocked the second tomo a month later, and at 8 he unlocked the 3 tomo. Naruto stood at impressive 5 foot 2 inches and he had mastered several jutsu that Madara and Zetsu taught him. Madara was standing before Naruto, who was doing a set of push-up while Zetsu sat on his back. Come on Naruto, only 50 more. Madara said sadistically. Naruto was sweating as he had already done 450 of them. That's what you said 5 minutes ago. Naruto huffed out. Well, if you'd stop complaining you'd be done by now. Madara countered. Fine. Naruto went back to what he was doing. You want some of my chakra to heal your limbs? Kurama asked. No thanks Kurama, I'm good. Naruto responded back. Over the years Naruto and Kurama developed a deep bond as Biju and Jinchuriki. At first they were like cats and dogs. Flashback 2 years. Naruto had just finished his morning warm-up and he looked at his grandfather. What do you want me to do now, Gigi? Naruto asked. We're going to talk to the fox today and you're going to learn to harness its power. Madara responded. Are you sure, Gigi? Naruto asked, a little frightened. Don't worry Naruto, your Gigi will protect you. Madara smiled. I might not possess 2 sharingan which brings out the true potential of the eye, but I'm wise and I still have the power to stop the Kyuubi. Madara smiled. Now sit down and focus, then we will venture into your mind and then we'll talk to it. Alright. Naruto sat down and closed his eyes, and when he opened them he was in a sewer and Madara was standing next to him. Ready Naruto? Why yeah. Naruto and Madara walked forward and after a few twists and turns they arrived before a gigantic golden gate with a tag for seal over the gates. Come forward Kyuubi. Madara Uchiha. Kurama roared, clawing at the gates in his fury, and huge gashes appear on the bars, and then Kurama charges up a Bijudama and he blasts the gates, and then the seal tag rips in half and then the gates forwards nearly flying of their hinges. Just then a man with blonde spiked hair and a standard Konohanin uniform with 2 bands each on both of his sleeves, a leaf green flak jacket, blue forehead protector, and blue sandals. He also wore a short-sleeved long white haori over his normal attire, decorated by orange flames-like motifs on the edges, with the kanji for 4th Hokage written vertically down the back, and closed on the front by a thin, orange rope. Yondiame Hawk. Ah shut you fluff ball. Minato said. Why don't we go somewhere more private? Minato snapped his fingers and the Kurama's cage disappeared and they were in a gold environment. Then Minato looked and saw Madara and Naruto. Which one of you Naruto? That would be the boy. Madara says, fighting back tears at seeing his son. But how the seal shouldn't have broken that easily. It's because of me, I enraged the fluff ball over there so much that he tried to obliterate the seal just to kill me. And who are you? Madara Uchiha. Minato's eyes widen in shock. Impossible, he died fighting Hashirama-sama. Never mention that shinobi's name in front of me ever again. He's telling the truth, Dad. Naruto said. Minato snapped his attention towards Naruto. How? Minato asked. Gigi told me. Naruto looks at Madara. Don't you have something to say, Gigi? Minato looks between the two, obviously confused. Minato Namikaze, I know this won't be easy for you to hear, but I'm your father. Madara said, and Minato's eyes widened in shock. How? Don't you remember me, your mother, anything? I remember a woman with blonde hair and a man, and beyond that everything is fuzzy. Maybe you'll remember this. Madara inhaled and then said in a sweet voice. Bamboo leaves are rustling, rustling, swaying close to the roof's edge. Oh, how the stars are twinkling, twinkling, gold and silver grains of sand. 5 wishes I have written, the stars are twinkling and watching from the sky. As Madara sang the song, Minato's eyes started tearing up as the memories came flooding back. That song. Minato's eyes tear up even more. My mother sung that song to me every night before I'd go to bed, but one day I woke up not in my home but in an orphanage. Do you know what happened to my mother? This won't be easy to hear, but she died, protected you from a Mangekyo shinobi who were after me. You were so young then. However, you saw me all the time. There's no way you shouldn't recognize me. Hang on. Madara makes hand signs. Henge no jutsu. Madara took the form of his younger self, armor and all. Father. Minato grabbed his head in pain. Minato. Madara dashed over and saw a seal on Minato's neck. This is a memory alteration seal, but there is a second seal, a Kekkeigenkai seal. Now I get it, your memories and Kekkei were sealed by someone in Konoha. Release. Madara channeled the Geto statue's chakra though the seal and shattered it. Minato's eyes glazed over and when they cleared Minato hugged Madara. "Two-san." Minato started crying. Minato. Madara started crying too but then Minato started flickering. "My chakra is fading, I'll rebuild the seal one last time and Two-san take good care of Naruto, this is my last request of you." Minato smiled then placed his hand on Naruto's stomach and twisted his hand and the seal was repaired. "Goodbye Naruto, Two-san." And with that Minato faded. End flashback. Madara had secluded himself for a couple of days afterward and Kurama never stopped trying to break the seal, but about a year of Naruto trying to really get to Kurama's heart, and every time Kurama would just glare and growl, but eventually Kurama looked into Naruto's heart and only found a small sliver of darkness, and when Kurama looked at it he saw, to his shock, that the darkness didn't have anything to do with using his sharingan or even the Moukton that had developed when Naruto got the Zetsu cells fused with his own. Over the time Kurama examined Naruto's chakra and felt a rush of calm flow over his dark heart, and Kurama watched as Naruto worked for his power with his blood, sweat and tears. Kurama watched as Naruto's heart never succumbed to the inner darkness, and then he remembered Hagoromo's last words. "I don't have long anymore. Shikaku, Matatabi, Isabu, Son Goku, Kokuo, Seiken, Komiai, Gyuki, Kurama, even though you have been separated, you shall always be together. Until eventually that time shall come when you will become one. You each carry a name. And with a different shape than you had up to now, you will be shown a righteous path, different from the time you spent inside of me. I hope you learn what true power is, before that time. Maybe I underestimated you Naruto Uchiha, and maybe I misjudged you, Madara, you never once abandoned your family, you loved them. To a kitsune such as myself, abandoning one's family is the worst crime." Naruto kept working on his push-up, and when he finished Zetsu got off his back. Naruto hopped to his feet and looked at Madara. "Well done Naruto, your training under me is done, but now I want to tell you about Project Tsuki no Mi." Project Tsuki no Mi. This world is full of things that don't go as you wish. The longer you live the more you realize reality is just made of pain, suffering, and emptiness. Listen. In this world, whenever there is light, there are also shadows. As long as the concept of winners exist, there must also be losers. The selfish desire of wanting to maintain peace causes wars, and hatred is born to protect love. I found a way to end that hatred. I wanted to create a world of love, a world of winners, a world of peace. I wanted to capture the 9 Biju and recreate the Jubi and use the Mugen Tsukuyomi to create this world, but now I want nothing more than to that project to fail. I won't hurt my grandson at all, you are precious to me. So my grandson, go on and avenge my son, your father, kill Obito Uchiha, and Project Tsuki no Mi dies with him. Madara smiles. Now get some sleep Naruto, it's late. Hi Gigi. Naruto ran off towards his room, but Madara stayed there and looked at Zetsu with a somber look on his face. You know what to do Zetsu, fetch my original eyes, it's time I do what I must, to give my grandson my final gift. Yes Madara-sama. Zetsu walks off and Madara waits until he hears the snoring of his grandson, then he grabbed his kunai and walked into Naruto's room and then lunged at his grandson's sleeping form and plunged the kunai at his heart. Acting on instinct, Naruto dodged the kunai and disarmed his attack and then stabbed Madara in the heart. When the light from the other room hit Madara's face, Naruto saw who his attacker was. And no. Naruto started crying. Gigi, why? What have I done? Naruto, forgive me. Madara choked out and drew his last breath. Ji. Naruto's sharingan activated and then started spinning, forming a 4-blade windmill shuriken, and the blades were curved and they looked like shark fins. Just then Zetsu walked in and saw Madara's dead body. It's alright Naruto, this is what Madara-sama wanted. He wanted to die by your hand so you would unlock the Mangekyo sharingan. His final wish was to give you his original eyes so you won't go blind. For the next few weeks I'll be training you in the Mangekyo's abilities. Naruto started crying at the dead body of his grandfather. Come on Naruto, remember all that Madara taught you. I know Zetsu. Naruto wiped his tears away and got a very cold look on his face. Zetsu, I want you to bury Gigi's body somewhere no one will ever find it, but make it something worthy of him. Yes, Naruto-sama, now we'll transfer Madara's original eyes. It will take a few days for you to adjust to them. Then we'll need to discuss your living situation because Konoha has branded you Kia. I know, Zetsu, just let me mourn Gigi. Madara loved you, Naruto, don't let his sacrifice be in vain. Become stronger, I know you can. Alright, Zetsu, give me Gigi's original eyes. Yes, Naruto-sama. Chapter 4, Naruto and Fu. Time skip 1 year later. Naruto quickly got used to his grandfather's eyes and mastered his time reversal power. Naruto had yet to discover the power of his own Mangekyo, which he ordered Zetsu to dispose of the original as soon as Naruto had Madara's eyes. Naruto donned his grandfather's armor and covered the Uchiha clan symbol with his hair and a small genjutsu. Naruto looked at Zetsu and then at the road, thinking on his grandfather and his plans. Zetsu, I will be traveling the shinobi world learning the locations of the other Jinchuriki. If you have any suggestions on where I should start, I'd love to hear them. According to my intel, the Nanabai Jinchuriki is in Takigakure no Sato. That would be the first place I'd go build a reputation. Then when you're ready, return to Konoha and show them the power of Naruto Uchiha. Thank you, Zetsu. Keep me posted on Obito's movements and keep my movements a secret for as long as possible. We can't let Obito lose trust in you yet. Yes, Naruto-sama. Zetsu sunk into the ground. Naruto took one last look at the mountain graveyard as it went up in smoke, then he leapt off towards the Shimatsu no Tani. When he arrived, he looked at the statue of his grandfather, then leapt up the side and into the ear and found his grandfather's body lying there peacefully in a bed of flowers. Hey Gigi, it's me. I hope you can forgive me. I know this is what you wanted, but I still miss you. I'll become strong. I'll make you proud, Gigi. Naruto left, then he started traveling, and after a few days he arrived at Takigakure, where the guards stopped him. Halt, state your business in Takigakure. I am here to seek an audience with your leader in requesting residence. Why grounds do you have to request entry? I didn't want to do this, but... Naruto activated his sharingan and he locked eyes with the guards, whose eyes widened in shock at seeing the legendary Kekkei of the Uchiha clan. Genjutsu, sharingan. Feel free to enter. Thank you. Naruto smiled and walked into the village and towards where he sensed the highest chakra signature when, out of the corner of his eye, he saw a girl who wore an orange clip in her short, spiky mint green hair that matched her eye color, which was also orange. Her ninja outfit consisted of a short sleeveless white midriff shirt with fishnet armor underneath, long white armlets, and fishnet shorts with a short white apron skirt over it. Her forehead protector was worn on her right arm. She also carried a cylindrical object in red wrapping on her back. The girl was scrounging around in the garbage while Naruto saw the people around her giving her dirty looks and the same glares he received from Konoha. When the girl saw Naruto, she noticed how he didn't have a look of hatred on his face. Hey mister, could you help me? I'm alone and I'm hungry. These people treat me like dirt. I know that feeling. Kid, I sense demon chakra coming off of her. Kurama said. From the feel of this chakra, it's the Nanabai. That explains the looks. Nice to meet you, Nana. Nice to meet you too, Q. Fu said. Naruto reached into his pouch and pulled out a bag full of Ryo that Zetsu had given him. Here, buy yourself some food. Naruto smiled. Thanks, mister. Fu smiled. Call me Naruto. I'm Fu. Anyway, do you know where your leader resides? Fu's look turned dark. Yeah, I know where he is, but I doubt he'll listen to a word you say. You're a Jinchuriki after all, and you've associated yourself with me, so I really doubt he'll care. I have my methods. Naruto activated his sharingan. Those eyes. Yes, I wield the sharingan Kekkei so I can convince the leader to let me stay. You'll find the leader in that tower over there. Fu pointed to the small tower that was intertwined with a large tree in the center. Thanks, Fu. Naruto smiled at her. It's been fun, Naruto. Now I'm gonna get something to eat. Likewise, Fu. Naruto walked off towards where Fu pointed out, and when he arrived, the two guards outside looked at him with contempt. We don't have time for a demon lover. The guard snarled. Naruto got an impassive look on his face. Let me talk to your leader before things get ugly. Naruto flares his sharingan and unleashes a torrent of Ki. Right this way. That's what I thought. Naruto smiled sickly, then he walked into the office. So why are you here? The man behind the desk said. I'm here to join Takigakure. Sir, he's associated with the Jinchuriki. One of his guards said to the leader in his ear. Shibaka's eyes narrowed slightly but he said nothing. So what can you bring to our village? Shikbaka asked. This. Naruto activated his sharingan and then made the snake hand seal. Mokuton, Mokujuhiki. Wood style, wood wall. That's the Shadame Hokage's Mokuton. Shikbaka stuttered. Yes, I wield the sharingan and Hashirama's Mokuton. The council must hear of this. Shikbaka got up and looked at one of his shinobi. Gather the council, tell them we're going to get a new Kekkei Genkai. Yes, sir. 10 minutes later, Naruto was standing in a circular room with a bunch of people standing around him. So Naruto Uchiha, you have partitioned to join Takigakure. What can you contribute to this village? One council member asked. I have these blessed eyes. Naruto activates his sharingan and everyone gasped. The sharingan. He truly is an Uchiha. A second council member said. He'll be an asset to this village. A third council member said. Let's put the matter to a vote. Shikbaka said. All in favor. All at once everyone raised their hands, allowing Naruto to stay. Then it's decided. Naruto Uchiha, welcome to Takigakure, here is your headband. Shikbaka tossed Naruto a Taki forehead protector. Thank you, Shikbaka-sama. Naruto bowed, then he walked out, and to his surprise Fu was standing outside. You're a Taki shinobi. Fu said happily as she saw his forehead protector. Yeah, I am now. I was wondering if you wanted to do some training with me. Sure, I can teach you about Taki. Then let's go. Time skip 3 months later. Naruto and Fu had developed a close bond, become great friends. Naruto and Kurama helped Fu and Komiai with learning to control Komiai's chakra. Naruto noticed the dirty looks he and Fu got when they were walking down the road getting food, but Naruto used his sharingan to get fair prices with the locals. But when the council saw Naruto's overprotective nature, they got nervous, and so here Naruto found himself in the council room. Naruto Uchiha, it has come to our attention that you have become rather close to Fu. We of the council have to protest such closeness. What we are about to tell you is highly ranked secret. Fu is the Jinchuriki of the Nanabai. She is a ticking time bomb of demonic chakra. With all due respect, I'm sealing expert and I've learned a lot, and one of the first things I learned was how to recognize a faulty seal, and Fu has exhibited nothing of the sort. And how would you know the signs of a faulty seal? Sealing is in my blood. My mother was an Uzumaki and my grandfather took me to the ruins of Uzushiogakure. It was on my 8th birthday my grandfather and I went to Uzushiogakure, and there I found an ancient archive of Fuinjutsu that only one of Uzumaki blood could unlock, and then I took my family's records and techniques and spent 3 years learning Fuinjutsu, and 3 years is a long time, especially if I used Kagebun's hins, shadow clones, to speed up the training. So in really I took 40 years of Fuinjutsu experience and compressed it into only 3 years. How could you have so much chakra, let alone know a B-ranked Kenjutsu of Konoha? We Uzumaki have a certain curse. We are cursed with abnormally high chakra levels, and as for me knowing a B-rank Kenjutsu of Konoha, most other nations know that jutsu, so my Jiji knew it and he taught it to me. Well, regardless of your knowledge of seals, the council has voted to banish you from the village, as Fu can't afford to have any distractions. She is our Jinchuriki, she is this village's muscle. Fine, if you want to lose the sharingan, it's not my problem. You have until morning to be gone or we will kill you. Okay, bye. Naruto took off the forehead protector and tossed it back to Shikbaka. It's been fun. Naruto walked out and then walked to where the house where he slept, and he packed his things, and when he walked out he saw Fu standing there. Hey Naruto. Fu smiled, then she saw his backpack and the apartment he had emptied out of his possessions. Hey Fu. You going somewhere? The village has kicked me out, so I'm going to travel the shinobi world, gather allies, and see if I can one day return to my original home. I'm going with you. But Fu. No buts, I'm going with you. If you leave, the villagers will just hurt me worse than before. Besides, there is nothing for me here. Alright, I'll trick the guards with a Kage Bunshin while you escape with me under a Henge no Jutsu. Transformation Jutsu. Alright, when do we leave? Now. Okay, let's go. Fu transformed into a random civilian and Naruto used Genjutsu to hide her chakra. Then Naruto and Fu left the village but at separate times as not to arouse suspicion, and Naruto used a transformed Kage Bunshin to fool the guards into thinking Fu was still in the village. After a while Naruto undid the genjutsu while Fu undid the henge. I'm free. Yeah, you are now. Let's get moving. We've got a lot of ground to cover and not a lot of time to do it.